And welcome back to another episode of A Pipe Story, brought to you by Pipes and Pickin. And first, I wanted to say, y'all, I'm sorry. It has just been absolutely crazy the past few weeks around the house. I hadn't really been able to get some content out, but things are starting to slow back down, get to a more normal pace, as life often does. Also, was out of my component tobacco, had to order some, finally got in yesterday. So I'll be getting back on the home blending playlist and start working on that. The good news is I've got some recipes that I'm actually pretty proud of. So I'll be sharing those and blending those up with you and talking about some of the things I've learned from there. So today's pipe in a pipe story is my Peterson 313 standard system. And I've been waiting to do this for a while because, as y'all know, I do a lot of my piping purchasing on eBay. And everybody does a, how to win at eBay video. And so basically I wanted to do one too. But I got this pipe maybe smoked once. Any of the discoloration around the rim is me. That I've done it. It's just with this rustication, it's just hard to clean for me. I just don't want to take the time, and I knocked the top of it. Any of the teeth chatter up here on the stem, that's me. This thing was brought brand new, $45. Brand new, like new system pipe. Peterson 313, $45. It's my best buy. It's my best buy that I bought. So I wanted to share with you all just my rules that I've applied on my eBay purchases. Just kind of share some advice that I picked up. I'm by no means an expert. Take a little. What I've done is take a little bit from this presenter, a little bit from that presenter. I've got a finance background, so a little bit of banking and finance in the way I do my job. So I kind of mesh this all together for my own rules. So rule one is set your budget. Know what you want to spend on it. If you're the type of individual that wants to spend $300 on a pipe, and your wife won't kill you, then there's your budget. Me, I can get away with it. My wife not shoot me for about $25-$40. I can get away with that. Honestly, though, it's stay in your budget. You can find some great pipes that are $300 on eBay. You can find some that are $5. You may have to put a little elbow grease into it, but at the same time, that's how you learn. I'm not the world's most handy guy. But I've learned a ton about pipes, working with wood, different things just by picking up a gently loved pipe and going to work on it. Sometimes it turns out all right, sometimes it doesn't. But at the end of the day, I've only got about $20 stuck in it, and what do I, learned a lot on it, and it'll still smoke, and I don't have to take it out and just be my pipe around the house. So, but this is not one of them. This is my eBay is good pipe, I call it. So set that budget, stay within that budget. Also, take a bit and research what you want. I knew from being out in the Facebook groups and at the time lurking on the YTPC, I wanted to try a Peterson. I've got 3 nuns in here, and I like 3 nuns, but it's just having trouble staying lit. It's not the pipe. Talking too, kind of keep the cadence off. But know what I want. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted a Peterson standard. I knew a couple of the styles I was looking for. Create your searches specifically. You can guess I keep a La Roca pipe search on all the time on eBay. You can save those searches. So I've got a Peterson one, and I've got the budget set, and I get notifications when something new comes in there. Go check it out. If it doesn't meet my curriculum or my criteria, move on to the next. Learning how to spot fakes. Don't Don't just fall for something, but research what makes a Peterson, what to look for. Looking at the punch marks and what you're looking for on the engravings, on the stamps and stuff. Dunhills like that, LaRocas, and any of those pipes. You've got to watch your fakes. Know the price range that you're looking for, and also apply an appropriate discount. I know that from my research, LaRocca, and I'm just going to use this one. LaRocca's, they're going to go for about new $80-90. So let's say 80. Keep it down. I know if I'm going to buy it used, let's give it $20. That sounds about right. $20 is a 25% discount. All right, so $20 takes it down to 60. If I know I got to put a little time and effort into it, what's my time worth? $10-15. Just little reaming, an overnight salt treatment, little polishing while I'm smoking another pipe. $15-20 for that. Just to apply something. So now I'm down to 40, 45, 40. Then from there, I kind of set my range for 20 and 40, and that kind of goes how I arrive at that number. So, know what you're looking for. Know what it's going to be used. Know what it's going to be. Know that it's going to be used. Know that what it costs new. And then, like you would look for a used car, that you would look for something else, just apply an appropriate discount about what it doesn't need to be exact or precise, but round numbers. Do it in your head. That just kind of makes sense to you. If I know it's brand spanking new off the factory, it's going to be this. Well, if I've got to do X, Y, and Z, that means the value is going to be this. So you have your new factory price minus this, minus my time, minus the amount of work, and some kind of difference for use. You arrive at a good round number that you would use to budget your pipes. So, just know what you're getting into when you're looking for it. Don't just buy poker briar pipes. Know what you're looking into. Rule number 3, so we've got set our budget, do the research. Rule number 3 is pictures. Pictures are a deal killer for me. I don't, if I don't, a lot of people recommend emailing the seller. I don't, only because when I email them, I have found that the sellers tend to, still be incented not to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Plus, I found if the seller knows what he or she's doing and selling pipes, but then they don't give you a whole bunch of pictures, that tells you something. If they don't know what they're doing, a lot of the times they've got it overpriced and just not going to mess with it. If you find one that a seller knows what they're doing or doesn't know what they're doing and they're in a good price in your mind, then you may want to email them. But that's a rare situation. Again, don't be embarrassed about your budget. Don't be embarrassed about your price of anything, pipe, car, house, anything is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it. You have to determine what you're willing to pay for, and that's your number. Somebody else may go higher, and that's on them. We got a theory in finance called "there's a greater fool." Somebody's willing to pay more than you for it. In your opinion, they're overpaying for it. It's called the greater fool. Sometimes the greater fool is what you're looking for. Somebody who's willing to take it off the market at a price you're higher than you're willing to pay for it. In your opinion, they took too much. They paid too much for it. But the pictures, look in the bowl. Make sure they're showing you inside the bowl. You'll be able to, and good lighting on it too. You'll be able to see whether or not it's how clean it is. And it's not a deal killer if it's dirty. I got a really great 7Ellie a couple weeks ago. That was, God, it was pretty bad. It was pretty caked up. But I got a reamer. So I got the reamer out and went to work on it and cleaned up pretty nice. But I knew what I was getting into when I bought it and discounted it back. See? Look at the drill hole. Look at the drill hole. I like mine just a little bit off the heel. I've got some that, God, it seems like they're about 3 inches, it feels like, off the heel. know that that's a mark of a good quality pipe, and it's not going to smoke right if that drill hole's not where you want it. Um, Look at that. Take a look at that. Make sure that you can see it. Look at the shank. Look at the stem. Look at the bit. Uh, Let's see how much tooth chatter's on there. That may or may not be a deal killer, but it tells you, lets you know what you're getting into and how much work you're going to have to put into it. So go in there, is look at that. Is also look at the all side. Make sure they just give you a good picture of a pipe inside and out, so that you know what you're getting into and that you can value that pipe in your mind. You're not a professional appraiser. You're not trying to be. You're trying to manage your money for that one particular pipe. You're trying to come up with a value in your mind for that particular pipe, what you think that's worth, because it's your money, okay? So make sure you do that. I got this idea. Rule number 4 is I got this idea off Briar Blues, is they will set up, when you bid on eBay, you're telling it the maximum bid. So what I would do is, what I've started doing now is setting that bid as high as I'm willing to pay for it at the time. And I'll get into the caveat there in the next rule. I'm willing to pay the most I'm willing to pay for it. And then the computer will automatically bid up the price. So if I set my price on a pipe at $45 or $40, we were looking at the little Roca I was using in the example. Let's say I arrived at $40 on it, and the bid right now is at $5. Well, I go in there and bid 40. It's going to bid up to 6 or 5 and a quarter or 5 and a half, something like that. And then every time somebody comes in and bids over 6, let's say they bid 8, it'll automatically bid me up to 9. Let's say all the way up to my maximum bid. Well, that sets your budget. That's how you manage that budget. Now you'll get a notification. And back up. So that's how you would go ahead and set that budget and forget it. Don't get in there. Don't forget it and spend the money out of your account. But don't sit there and watch it and all that. Set your budget, set your maximum bid, and forget about it. Because you'll go crazy and start justifying to yourself ways to increase the bid if you see a bunch of snipers in there bidding the price up. So set that budget and forget it. Now, this is my caveat. This is where I think I'm a little bit different. If you get beat, you get a notification that you get beat on a pipe. I don't necessarily just say, oh well, goodbye. Depends on the pipe. If it's a pipe you really want, let's say that this pipe I've originally set up 70, I think, on that. I bid 70 on it. If it got to like an hour before and somebody beat me to 71, am I willing to say, all right, because of competitive forces that are on this pipe, am I willing to say, all right, I'll go 75? Yeah, for this pipe. If there was a La Roca that, I just like the style of, but I already have that label, am I willing to go another $5 over 40? Probably not. Go ahead and take it. If you know you got a good deal, is another $5 going to really make or break it? I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you got to ask yourself that. Is it better to leave it to the greater fool over a matter of a couple of bucks, and whatever a couple of bucks means to you? Or is it worth saying, all right, I'll give you another $10 for it, just to get it? But that kind of gets into a qualitative question of whether or not you want that pipe. And is it viewed as somebody else wanting it as much as you do, because they're putting as much money into it as you're willing to put into it? Are you willing to put a little bit more money into it? So ask yourself that question. If the answer is yes, raise the maximum bid. If the answer is no, walk away. But you've done it, I think, if you put those 5 rules in place, even if you get beat, you kind of got a back channel, say, is this one really worth it? Did I evaluate it right? Do I really want this pipe, or do I want the greater fool to get it? And congratulations, you paid more for it than I was going to. So those are my 5 rules. I am by no means an eBay expert. Again, I get a lot of this from people that I've watched and people that I see on YouTube and eBay and on Facebook, and that's the rules that they use. Plus, with my just education in finance and banking, that's just what I have picked up and kind of applied to that. But I have been pretty successful. I have had a lot more hits, price-wise, value-wise, than misses. Uh, I will admit, I do kind of, LaRocas aren't the highest premium uh, pipe on earth. They should be, but they're not. So I do kind of swim in a very narrow pond. But I've had some success with them. And, you know, this Peterson took me, it took me several weeks of watching, and I think I got picked up on it pretty quick. Don't just jump on one just because you see it. Make sure it fits all the rules. And having those rules kind of helps focus your search. So that's the eBay rules. I'm previewing a little bit. If you'll look at as of today, I am at 99 subs. The fact that anybody wants to watch me and listen to me rattle about pipes is astounding. But I'm not going to do a gaw after every little milestone, but I wanted to do it for the 100 because that's a pretty big one. So I wanted to do that, and I finally got around to getting the pipe I was going to give away for the gaw. This is a LaRocca Suprema. I just picked it up. Well, not just. It's been a while, actually. Got it from Briarville. Had to do a little restoration on it. If anybody does want pictures, since it's a giveaway and it's not having money, I'll be glad to send better pictures. But I'll do the gaw officially when I do hit 100 subs. But just kind of wanted to show what I'll be giving away. It's an original stem. It's kind of a green, kind of like a turtle, a turtle shell, but like a green marbling. Beautiful little natural walnut stain. They did an amazing job on the rim. Did a great job cleaning it. I have not smoked it in its new state. But they did a wonderful job. If you've ever had any repairs done by Briarville, you know what a fully restored pipe from them looks like, feels like, smokes like. So for all the rambling I've done about LaRoccas over the last several months, I wanted to give y'all an opportunity to pick one up yourself, one that I've, I guess, approved, and y'all have at it. So I'll present it probably the next one. Hopefully I can pick up one subscriber from this video. Hopefully, and I'll have it up and do some questions, do a quick gaw. I know everyone's kind of sick of gaws, but I wanted to do it as a thank you to you all, and also to share the LaRocca love on that. So anyway, that's the end of today's video. Y'all keep on piping, y'all keep on picking, and we'll see y'all later. Take care.